Welcome to Coach Soul, the podcast where we explore therapeutic ways to the best versions of ourselves. I'm your host, Steve Hudgens. I'm a licensed professional counselor dedicated to helping you navigate life's challenges. In each uplifting episode, we'll discuss mental health, relationships, self-care, emotional well-being, and personal growth, providing you with valuable insights and actionable tips to thrive. Join me and with my co-host, Kenya Evelyn, a therapeutic life coach, where sometimes we'll even welcome special guests to our show that share their experience and expertise. Whether you're looking to improve your relationships or find greater joy, you're in the right place. So let's embark on this transformative path together and discover a healthier and happier you. All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Coach Soul. And it is our launch day of a new us. It is becoming a better you. We're living up to our slogan, Kenya.
I'm so excited. Couldn't be more happy. This is a journey where we expand together, deepen our calling, and I'm just excited to hear the feedback from our listeners. Do you notice the logo changing? Come on, Steve. There's so much juiciness behind where we're going as people and as brand.
So
yes.
The Coach Soul logo is very unique. It's unique in a silver color that is inviting for you to be able to be unique. Right.
Yeah.
But the way Coach Soul is, and underneath it, if you look at it, it's like a smiley face with sunglasses. I like that look because Coach Soul is about smiling. It's about becoming a better you. It's understanding that I don't have to live in my trauma. I don't have to live in such disparity. And oftentimes we get afraid of going to therapy because of our own experiences of past therapists that we've had. And we have our good, bad, and the ugly. It's everywhere.
You hear somebody that went, well, they're there for 20 years. They never leave.
Right.
I mean, I would be the first one to say I'm not a big fan of therapy. Truly. And then, because I am one, I'm like, okay, what is the intention? Is that be a better you now or practicing listening, which I just really want to say, hello, therapists all over the world. I love you so much. Thank you for who you be. You're amazing. And what's the next level? Transformation. So we get to go first, Steve. We transform, they transform. That's leadership. We transform, they transform. So we have a cleaner logo, be a better you. We are committed to be a better us. I am committed to be a better me every day. Not just when I show up at podcasting with Steve, we have this magic glue together. So excited about our conversation for today. And my invitation for the listeners is, how am I a better me now? Am I deciding to just embrace me as I am? Because let me tell you something about better. Better can be very tricky, right? So the better here, my invitation is for you to see a better here as I accept me as I am. I'm not waiting for somebody to see my juiciness, my brilliance, me. I see me. They see me. Right. I am great with my body. It resonates. I'm great with my looks. It resonates. I am great with my words. I'm great with not having the answer, Steve.
When I came up with a logo to be a better you, it resonated with me in such a way that I became better. Not that in an egotistical way. It was more in a way of awareness.
Yes.
We don't have awareness. We just go through life like zombies sometimes and thinking, yes, I'm stuck, don't know how to get out of it. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I healed from my trauma. I came from an anxious attachment disorder to more of a secure attachment now. And so being better does not mean that I have to do a lot of changing.
right.
It's recognizing in the moment of where you are that you want to excel.
Yes.
I mean, Kenya, I never thought that I would be a doctor.
Woo! Come on now.
Now, as a kid, I wanted to be a medical doctor, but I couldn't see the hours of being away from family and the devotion, and sometimes I don't know how I feel about blood and guts and all that, and I'm like, no, I cannot pronounce but see, I can't even talk right now. I can't talk about those big words. Let's spell them.
Gotcha.
So I became working in therapy as a doctor.
Yes.
Is honing in on the skill sets. And what's important to me is family.
There we go.
Marriages, couples, because without a marriage, without a family, can we truly exist individually, isolated from one another? And so
I share your calling. I acknowledge you with coming up with the logo, and share with me your genius, and now sharing with the world your genius. What I hear you saying is better might look like less weight.
Oh, yes.
Putting down the weight makes it better.
Or
it's not a lot of work. It's not like, oh, let's work on your drama. Let's do the work. Like, we're not here to exhaust ourselves into the cycle. We're here to stop the cycle, see the cycle. The word that Steve used was awareness, to shed light in it, so that you break free out of, you know what? I am a child of God. Whatever you call God, I call God God. I love God, right? I know He's here. And when I say this is complete, this is complete. Through the Holy Spirit, this is complete. It is over. It's done. Right. This is a new season. We have bright colors. It's a new season. The sun is shining. It is fall. It is coached. So be a better you. And we're welcoming change, Steve.
Well, here we go. In our perception here is that you talk about less weight. Or a different perception would be, can we use the weight to our advantage to grow stronger?
All the above.
It's all the above.
All the above.
Right. And
I say, for me, it resonates. I have grown stronger because I've been carrying the weight. This is from my perspective and the perspectives hundreds of women that I work with. They have grown resilient. They recognize, if you say, are you stronger? They say, absolutely. You have no idea what I went through. And I'm here. It resonates. We as humans, we are incredible beings. Kudos to you for pushing through. Kudos to you for waking up when you feel like sleeping, going to work when you feel like, this might not be the job, but you know what? It pays the mortgage. So you put your resilience hat on. But today, what I'm saying is something different. Yes, I acknowledge your strength, but I also acknowledge the human behind the strength. And in order for you to be a better you, I want you to answer this question for yourself. What would have been better? What would make your life better? This is your entire homework for this session. If you can answer the question, which I know you can, it might just be, you know what? I don't love my job. I get to declare spending hours with something that's juicy for me, that makes me feel like connected. Then tell the truth to yourself.
Right.
It might be like, you know what? I've been in this relationship and it's dead. And I'm saying that it is for the kids. Go ahead and revisit and tell the truth. Are you willing to heal it?
That's the whole purpose of Coach Soul, so that you're not alone. You know, when I think about Coach Soul, think of us as a crutch or a walker, so that you gain the strength to understand who you are through our episodes. I mean, Kenya, our episodes are going to be dynamic of dealing with the different elements of trauma.
Yes.
But we're not going to be that traumatic in our responses and things like that, of being so Debbie Downers, if you will.
Yes.
It's more about our approaches. we're going to have co-hosts, on our shows, guests on our shows, I should say, that like Brock, for instance, a great guy who became vulnerable, that recognized how pornography was ruining his marriage and the steps he took to change to salvage his marriage. So Coach Soul is about giving you hope where you feel hopeless. We're going to talk about topics about how to have a better relationship with your children, how to have a better relationship with other people. It's the dynamics of recognizing human frailty as it is, but learning that even though we may be frail, is how do we gain the strength through listening to other people's witness testimonies of what they've been through. We're going to have a guest here shortly that she got into substance abuse, addictions, and how she found God to be able to help change her life, became an author, and she's a student where I teach at a university, and she wants to get her story. Life is about stories.
100%. And I would love to share also with our listeners here that we want to be seen as a tool. We are a tool for you. We are a light for you. And my prayer and my intention is that you get to see you, a glimpse, even a glimpse of how God sees you in your perfection, in your wholeness. You are not broken. What happened to you is part of a journey that I know there are gifts, and I'm so sorry for the pain. I'm right there with you. We all have stitches of ups and downs, and some downs are very, very low and dark. And there are gifts in every corner. When you focus on the gift, when you focus on the becoming, and when you focus on the strength, when you focus on just healing by watching and acknowledge versus shove it down because I don't want to see what happened. I don't want to see what happened. It will hunt you to your last day.
Right.
My declaration here is that you are free. You are free by decision, and you're free because you choose to love you as you are, just like God loves you as you are.
You know, Kenya, I want to be able to take the last segment of the halfway through our show right now.
Sure.
And let's talk about something that really needs to bring forth to light. You said that about seeing, how we need to see ourselves and so forth, right? And so when I think about how we see, I think of the word perception.
Sure.
How do we view our world? And Kenya, I mean, if we're putting, I don't like the term expectation.
No.
But if we're going to place a goal for our listeners to be able to see something different beyond what they are capable, how do we help them to be able to see that they can be a better you?
You nail it by the head. The word is perception, right? Let's bring up my beautiful cup, please. Okay. So if I look at the cup like here, right, and I ask you, what do you see?
You're going to
see a handle. I don't see a handle. We're looking at the same cup. Truly is perception. And one perception does not minimize the other perception. So if you are sitting here with pain and you say, my husband did this and my mother did that, and now they say they're sorry, am I just supposed to forgive them? I'm going to sit with you and witness what's coming up, because this person, what I hear in the words, my perception of what she's saying is, I want them to know how much pain they cause me. And I don't want them free to be happy because they cause me a lot of pain. There's a justification behind the forgiveness that it becomes a wall, right? So is her perception true? Absolutely. Am I going to say, no, you just have to forgive it? No. My perception, as I hold space for what I see, is you deserve to be witness in your pain. And you also deserve to be witness in your freedom. Which one makes you more happy?
The thing about when I think about perception, it's like the mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's opened. And we want to invite our listeners to be open-minded about what we present.
Correct.
We understand there's a lot of different mixed messages. We understand there's a lot of no truth. It's hard to decipher. Our world is going to get more complex because we're going to have AI. I was seeing somewhere where they're saying that AI can be like a human being to convince you to buy this product. And you're not going to know if that product is going to be accurately for you or not. And so Coach Soul does not take a cookie cutter approach to anything. Coach Soul is unique and dynamic from a perception that if I believe the moon is made out of cheese and Kenya, believe it's made out of rock, we can argue, but where does that get us? It doesn't. And so when I think about perception of what you talked about, the cup is like the moon. Can we agree that there's 36 different colors depending on the atmospheric condition of the moon? Yes. Can we agree that it rises from the east to and sets in the west? Yes. Does it come up during the day and night? Yes. Does it take a minute? See, so there's so much more that we can agree on if we're open-minded and not being stuck on rock and cheese.
Correct.
So being perception, when we have trauma gets us stuck into the rock and cheese.
Correct.
That's almost like a title, Rocky Cheese, right?
Yes, and Steve, we all have it.
Yes.
We all have it. So, dear listeners, we are here as one. We happen to be your guides, and we are in the trenches, in the water, on earth. We are here together. Steve just took a stand like, you know what? It's not enough to know. We get to spread. We get to let other people know. We get to empower you to self-heal, you and God. We get to empower. If you can make an appointment and have us there, beautiful. If you can be in one of our workshops, beautiful. But you and God alone can do a lot. You get to stand up, take such a stand for you. This is my intention, that you take such a stand for you that you say, no more. I get to enjoy my life every day and every moment and every breath. I'm here for a reason and I'm going to make it count.
Right.
No more blaming the kids, the dogs, the hubby, the mother, all the places you have been, good or bad, got you to be here. So I'm so grateful that you get to listen to us today and make a choice for you.
Well, and part of that change and perception, Kenya, is taking ownership. That's one of the things that I've learned. Have I made mistakes? You betcha. But if I own them and you try to blame me, guess what? I'm not letting you have the power over me.
Because you own it.
I own it. Right. And so when I'm able to be authentic, do I recognize that I'm at fault in some of the disparagement in the marriage that I was in? Sure. But at the same time, have I gained knowledge to be able to transform myself into something better? Yes. And, it's transformational when you get on a deathbed like I was at one point.
Yes.
You process things differently.
Yes.
I'm thankful for medical that was able to locate 3 of the bacteria that attacked me and saved me. And here I am to be able to live and tell a tale, right? And so from our unique experiences, Kenya, from your transformational journey from Brazil to America, from the transformation of how I grew up and from a military home and being soft, not in a weak way, but in an empathetic way, that you and I bring this unique perspective for our listeners to know we're human beings just like you.
Yes.
And when we come together as collectively, one of the things that I think about as a faith-based person is in the book of James, chapter 4. It talks about confess your sins to one to another. Now, when I think about sin, to me, it's a God term. It's a judgment, because that's why we have Christ that came to save the world, because the world was already judged. I want to take that and make it into human. Because when I'm in therapy with my clients, when you are in transformation with your clients, we are confessing our humanity. And when I change the word from sin to humanity, or humanness, right? I'm not elevated above you. You're not elevated above me. We come co-creators, partnership, and saying, Kenya, what can I do to assist you? Steve, what can I do to try to help you? So that we can do what? Thrive to become better, which in our community and our society, it becomes better because we're healing from the trauma and not looking back and living in the past, but living in the present. What do you think, Kenya?
I don't resonate with the sin analogy. I feel like it's from one human to another. It's not necessarily coming from sin. It comes from the human nature of just really wanting to belong and not knowing how.
Ooh, yes.
And this is why I resonate with being a child of God, like the term child of God, because through God we belong.
Correct.
And when I belong, there's oneness. So I am one with you, and I'm one with everyone that is a child of God. So when we are with each other's presence, it's not about I know more than you, which is exactly what you said. I'm just saying in a different way. And this is why this works.
It does. It's the different
this
perspective.
Is the yin and yang. This is the yin and yang. This is why this works, because when I'm in your presence, I feel like we're witnessing each other. And we're like, me too. You went through that? Me too. So I'm sitting here as a guide, and you're sitting there as a guide, because of the places we have been and because of our desire to lead and doing something about it in this world. It's not because we are better.
Right.
But because I have done so many steps to heal myself, a step into the power of the Holy Spirit and saying, you know what? No, not today. No, I know who I am, and I'll keep saying I know who I am until I believe it. You see the trick? And
at
then
when
when my mind believes and my body believes and releases the trauma, then I have a new identity, which is the transformation that Jesus came here for. The old identity and the new identity. So in transformation is all about identity. I was abused. Well, I am the healer. I heal me and God. So either which identity are we carrying around because we're so used to what happened to us versus what can happen when I step into that creation power, me and God, to shift my identity.
So we're going to close it out. And one of the things that I think about what we just shared, Kenya, is we could stay stuck in the past.
Correct.
Spin our wheels, feel exhausted every day, thinking that we're not getting anywhere. But the transformation that happens is recognizing I don't want to live like this anymore.
Yes.
Authenticity is recognizing ownership. It doesn't mean that you're holding on to the guilt and the blame and that's being placed upon you. It's about learning what your threshold is to protect your identity. Learning to identify who you are begins an awareness of a sense of belonging. And that sense of belonging, it's like a gravitational pull, like the moon has to the ocean tides.
Correct.
That's the reason why it's the circle of Coach Soul, is to pull you in, to help you to recognize there's such a yearning to become something better. And so with that, Kenya and I, we are grateful for each other. I say that with confidence because of the love that she shares for me and the love I share for her. To you, the listeners, those who are joining us for the transformation.
And the season, yes.
And the season. Embrace it. You're not alone. You have our email. It's coach@coachedsoul. Make some comments. Help us to help you in ways of what do you need to understand. We're going to have some difficulties in podcast. We're going to have some enlightenment of podcast. I have another guest that's going to come on the show that went through 9/11 and how she was there at the Pentagon and the destruction that happened. And then she had PTSD. And now she's living a self-fulfilled life because the PTSD is not there as it once was that was troubling her. So there is some great things that are coming your way. We want you to stay tuned, subscribe to YouTube, iTunes, Podbean, whatever.
All of it.
Spotify, Pandora, I think it's on. So until next time, take care.
I love you so much.
And God bless. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Coach Soul, where we aim to empower and uplift you on your journey toward personal growth and well-being to become a better you. Remember, as you navigate through life, you don't have to do it alone. We encourage you to reach out to professionals, seek support from loved ones, and prioritize your own well-being. Stay tuned for future episodes with Steve Hudgens, filled with valuable insights and actionable tips. You have the power to thrive, and with Coach Soul by your side, anything is possible. Until next time, take care, stay empowered, and keep shining your brightest light. For more information, contact Coach at coachedsoul.com.